Hello everyone, Kevin here with the Parts and Service Desk. I just wanted to touch base with you today because it's another day where I've had some interesting conversation with some friends of mine, and also I noticed some of these same conversations are rolling around on social media, and it's mind-numbing today. What is with today? It's Thursday. Thursday is usually easy day. It's like the day that's pretty okay before a shit show Friday, or holy fuck, it's Saturday and I have two technicians, one main tech and one loaf tech. Like what happened today? Like, is the full moon still going on? I really don't know. I'm kind of confused about that. I mean, they're just strange stuff. I had a conversation with a buddy of mine out of Utah. And funny thing is, I actually just saw a similar post to this on social media, and I was like, man, I got to go on and talk about this, at least for just a moment, before I get to the really fun part of today, like you saw in the thumbnail. And my buddy was saying this, and this person on social said this on one of our favorite websites, which I usually post these videos on, and that's like customers and their appointments. I mean, these two conversations, the one that was on social media and my buddy, it was like the same thing. The customer calls and wants to set an appointment. Does it not drive you crazy when they call to set an appointment and you're like, yeah, I have an appointment at this time or this time or this time? And they're like, processing for a second, and then they ask you for a totally off-the-wall time other than the single or multiple times that you had mentioned. Like, hello, that was not one of the options. For the day you're requesting, I had this time, or this time. No, I can't do earlier. No, I can't do another time. These are the times if you want that day. Like, how do people not comprehend that? It seems to make sense when they call the doctor's office. I have an appointment here, here, and here. I don't know. The one thing that, and again, my friends out west and a lot of my friends back in Ohio that know me as an advisor know that I have a saying when it comes to customers, that when they call in, whether it be for an appointment or just to show up, I always tell them, hey, here at the shop or here at the dealership, we operate kind of similar to two facilities. We're like a doctor's office and a bank. And the reason why I use that analogy is the doctor's office side. Your appointment is a time slot. And I don't even tell people that it's like a time slot to guarantee your time to talk to me, because some customers, be them ever so entitled, I've found a lot more often than not, they think you're entitled. Like, well, I don't care if I have to talk to you. Give me someone else who gets me in at my time. So the analogy I use, like a doctor's office, is it is a time slot to help us gauge our workload and volume for the day. And we base that on the type of work coming in compared to our maintenance services. And that kind of, that kind of makes sense, even though the customers still have no idea what you're talking about, because they don't know our industry. But using analogies sometimes like that seem to work. I'm not sure why, but sometimes it just makes sense. So that's kind of one of the reasons why I use the doctor's office. Just kind of going through with something like that. It's relatable. Everybody goes to the doctor for the most part, or to the PAC center or the urgent care or whatever you do. It's kind of relatable for folks. So they get, you have an appointment, you usually show up a little bit before that appointment time, hoping you can get in at that time. Never happens. They know they're going to sit there waiting for the doctor for 20 minutes to 2 hours. Well, if you're silly like that and you're coming in for an appointment, that's why I use the analogy of the doctor's office. Now you're thinking, okay, where's the bank come in, Kevin? Yeah, what people are going to like, oh yeah, you're talking about everything costs so much because you're a bank, right? No. People know that when they go to the bank, traditionally, now obviously cell phones and things like that, it's a little bit different, but for the most part, majority of banks, and a lot of your older customers are going to get this, not your teenagers or your younger millennial group. No disrespect to the millennials, just categorizing everyone. Your Gen Xers know this, your baby boomers, or boomers, as they're now called, kind of get this. But the bank thing, most people know when they go to the bank and deposit money usually it's after 2 o'clock, that money don't show up till the next business day if it's cash. Some banks will do it with a check, because if you got a lot of money in your account, they'll just go ahead and post it, because if it bounces, they'll just charge back the amount of money in your account. But irrelevant conversation. But the aspect, if you go to a bank with $100 and you hand them that $100, usually after 2 o'clock, or a check after 2 o'clock, it posts on the next business day. Anything before that usually shows up in your account that day. Hey, you know what? Most dealerships work the same way. Now, granted, we're not getting into the conversation that you're booked weeks and weeks and weeks out. This is a simple conversation you can have to them on the phone. If it's something that you know is a quick fix, and again, I mean no, like they come in for a recall that takes 15 minutes to do and you tell them an hour just because half the time it's going to sit out there and wait for running time, for warranty, or whatever. I'm talking about the stuff that you know they can get in and out in an hour, whether it be an oil change or something like that. Tell them no big deal, same day. But if they're coming in for a check engine light, a couple other things, we all know a check engine light is an hour just to diag it at minimum. So tell these folks, hey, no problem. I'll go ahead and set you up your appointment. I've got you here for 3 o'clock. Now I need to let you know, like we talked about, this is not something you want to wait with. I always tell customers that if you're coming in for an oil change and a tire rotation, no problem, wait for those. If it's anything more than that, plan on dropping the vehicle off. Don't wait with it for a check engine light. Well, why? Well, because, we have to go through this whole process and diag it, blah, 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 and then put the estimate together. Then we're looking at the XYZ repair time to get it fixed, okay? So, again, shorten that conversation however you want, but anything after that 2 o'clock when they come in, make sure they're aware, hey, this is going to be something that you want to drop off. Odds are we'll go ahead and get the process started. The earlier in that time frame, 2, 2:30, 3, 3:34, however you set your appointments, you could even probably say, hey, we might even be able to get it diagnosed today, but I'm not going to have an answer for you till tomorrow. Oh, well, why? Why? Well, let's see. Most of our technicians leave at 5, and you're coming in with a 4 o'clock appointment. And, traditionally with this, we've seen, it can take this long to diagnose. And where do we have time to fix it at in that time frame? So give them knowledge. It's not hard. A lot of people just hate talking to people, hate setting up appointments. But I've always felt as an advisor, you shoot yourself in the foot when you don't give the right amount of information. Granted, too much information will absolutely shoot you in the foot. And you don't want to do that. Don't overtalk yourself, kind of like I'm doing right now. Give them a little bit, give them that little carrot just to kind of get their brain working to where they can aha with you and nod their head yes on the phone. Just like, hey, salespeople know this. Everybody in the front in the sales office, they all know. Get the customer to start shaking their head before you get them to sign for the payment. It's the same way in service because we're selling service. Get them a little bit of a carrot to where they start nodding their head on the phone, just like you're probably doing right now, and you're hating yourself. You're like, I'm doing it too. Then you'll have a little bit better experience. Now, here's the fun part about this video. The thing that I really, really, really am excited about, because I just found these. Now, these are older. Some of you old school guys that have been around and you like, having fun with customers, you have probably seen these. They're getting a lot harder and harder to find. Whenever I can find this stuff, I like to let everyone know about it. I think there's 2 or 3 of these out there on eBay right now. Now, of course, by the time you see this, they might already be gone. The post might already be taken down. So, something that I love. Now, we all have been at that point where we kind of have fun with our customers when they call on the phone. You get that customer that comes, I got a question for you, man. I got a problem with my car. Can I talk to you about it on the phone? Yeah, we get them all. From the goofballs all the way up to the sophisticated folks that just want you to diagnose their car over the phone. And we all know, obviously, that's not our business. We're there to make money. We're there to get the customers in, get them diagged, and provide a good quality service. But sometimes, man, you just got to have fun on the phone. And that's why we have Diagnostic Dice. What is this, you might ask, if you've not heard about it? I know a lot of you old school guys know what I'm talking about. Well, let me show you. Comes in a very high quality box with tons of pictures of the same thing. And on the back, you have dice. Now, let me read this to you. You've got red dice to use when your engine won't start. Oh, this is going to get good. You've got a yellow die to use when you have no power. The orange die is for when it's idling roughly. Diagnostic, ooh, I love the orange one. Use the green die when facing worst case scenarios. Man, I got this bad sound. I'm driving down the road and... Oh yeah, that's the green die. And then the blue die is still a good friend of ours when your engine's overheating. Oh god, we gotta take a second here on this. You're gonna love it. So a lot of you newer advisors, if you haven't seen these, you know, you got to go through the whole thing. You know, oh yeah, hi, how you doing today? Thanks for calling. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, your engine's overheating. Okay, cool. Let's see here. What do I think it could be? Well, could be the water pump. You know, have you checked your radiator cap? You don't think it's overhot, but it says so on your gauge. Have you checked the temp sensor or checked the gauge to make sure it's working? Oh. Do you have any leaks coming from your radiator? Oh yeah, no, it might be a thermostat, you don't know. Okay, all right, well, hopefully it's not a head gasket. You know, it's got a million of them, I tell you, you know, knock sensor, it could be your transmission, that's definitely a running concern, yeah. Map sensor, oh, here you go. Timing belt, crank or cam sensor, fuel pump relay, neutral safety switch, gotta be. Oh, yeah, you got a fuel related problem, gotta be your injectors, could be a vacuum leak, could be an ignition coil, hard to say. Oh, you went to AutoZone and you've got a P420 code? Ooh, yeah, that's probably gonna be an expensive repair. Oh, you saw some rodents outside your house? Okay. Well, hopefully you don't have any wiring damage. Oh, and it's been running like that for a while? Ugh. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. The best part about this is kind of really like a very bad unboxing video. It does come with a really nice kind of felt lined little holder in here that all these fit ever so nicely in. And, you know, I will tell you though, you have to be careful because this is the second set of these I've had. Usually when your co-advisors see them, one comes up missing, two come up missing. Miraculously, the box comes up missing. The odd thing is, your co-advisor might play with it, toss it around, and make it like a stress toy for some reason, throw it against the wall. When he gets mad, then he looks at you and goes, oh, sorry. It's always funny. You can walk through the salespeople, their sales office, and you see the salespeople sitting there. Can I have my die back? Well, I don't know where it came from. It's mine. No, you snatch it back from them, goofballs. So yeah, if you can find these, like I said, they're only on eBay. You can't find them on Amazon. The company that made these is Creative Dice. Again, I'm not seeing them anywhere. I even went on the Creative Dice online to try to see if I could look them up. And we'll just go in there and go online again real quick. But I think, yeah, I've tried a few different times, but Creative Dice evidently doesn't even have a website anymore. Again, there's a couple of them left on eBay, so by the time you see this, hopefully they're still there. A great novelty, especially when you're having one of those like kind of a days, kind of like today was. But for me, it's always pretty good because again, I do all kinds of fun stuff now. So sorry, doing what I like to do and having a good time with it. So again, thank you all so much for tuning in and watching this short episode of the Parts and Service Desk. Now that we're in our new year, we are actually currently talking to a few other folks about being some special guests on the show. We have got a couple service managers lined up from a few dealerships, one of which I used to work at, another one I've met through social media, a couple more service advisors, and I am even working on someone, you know who you are, who happens to work for a manufacturer in one of their plants. And it could be some really great conversation, especially for all my friends out there in the wonderful world of online and social media who love transmissions. So with that, again, thank you so much for tuning in. And always remember, whenever you're watching this show, there's no need to get a vaccination or even wear a mask, because you can always do it in the privacy of your own home, in your car, or even in the bathroom when you're trying to hide from your service manager or most of the customers. I don't know. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. Take care. Have a great weekend.